Counter-Strike has always been more than just a competitive shooter, at least since the introduction of skins in CSGO back in 2013. The game developed one of the most unique player-driven economies in all of gaming. Some people play to climb ranks, others just play to hang out with friends, but for millions of players, skins have become a culture of their own. And with the launch of Counter-Strike 2, Valve has been slowly reshaping that economy with new rules, UI changes, trade restrictions, but one major feature has been revealed, and it's clear as day. Valve wants tighter control over the market than ever before, and while this isn't surprising considering how profitable the market has been, this has sparked mass panic and debates across the community, and whether these changes could strengthen the game's economy or choke it out entirely. In this video, I'll deep dive and explore exactly why Valve wants this control and what their new systems mean, how they profit, and what the long-term effects could be. If you're excited for this video, don't forget, drop a like, subscribe with your notifications turned on, and now let's break it down. So at the core, it leads to one question: why does Valve care so much about controlling the CS2 market? The answer comes down to three things: the profit, security, and stability of the game. The profit motive is undeniable. Every single time a skin is sold on the Steam market, Valve takes a 15% cut. Considering that the CS2 market moves millions of dollars in skins each week, Valve is cashing in on what amounts to be a permanent, self-sustaining revenue stream. Unlike selling games or DLC, this income doesn't rely on releasing new content. It's built into the trading system itself. For years, the CS skin market was plagued by scams, phishing sites, and shady third-party platforms. Skins became so valuable that players were being tricked into giving away thousands of dollars worth of items in a single scam. Valve wants to protect its reputation and its player base. It only took years for this to happen, but by tightening the control, they can then minimize the risk of players being exploited. But this player-driven economy is unpredictable. Skins rise and fall in value based on hype, rarity, or even something as simple as a pro using it in a game. Valve doesn't want their entire game economy destabilized by outside forces, so by keeping everything inside the Steam ecosystem, they can manage the flow of skins, the pace of trading, making the market easier to oversee. One of the most controversial changes within the last month or so has been the introduction of the 7-day reverse protection policy. This system allows players to undo trades or purchases for up to a week after they occur. Now, on the surface, this is a fantastic change to help protect players. That way, if you fall victim to a scam or regret a trade, you now have a safety net to reverse it. But for the trading community, this is a devastating change. For many years, traders have thrived on the fast-paced, high-volume exchange of skins, and by forcing a 7-day waiting period not only to the skins, but also even the cases, Valve has slowed the market but brought more business to themselves by forcing players to use the Steam market. Let's say you want to do a mass unboxing, so you buy a bunch of cases on CS Float. Well, now you can't even open the cases until the 7-day waiting period is over. Let's say you buy a gun from the CS Float market. Well, it's got some stickers on it and you don't really want them. You can't even scrape the stickers until the 7-day reverse period is over. Now, this has two big effects. First, it reduces the appeal of third-party sites. I'd say tremendously when it comes to cases and stickers. But skins, which for a long time relied on the rapid transactions and movements, no longer they move as freely. Over markets and liquidity drops as a result. And while Valve may see this as increased security, following these new trade restrictions, many in the community see this as a direct attack to the open market culture and showcases massive changes coming to the Steam community and how skins are moved throughout the market. And speaking of some massive changes, Valve recently took a major step in browsing for skins and items with a new community market UI. To the average player, this may just look like an update to the system, but beneath the surface, this UI update is designed to make Valve's marketplace feel more trustworthy and user-friendly than the other third-party alternatives. This new design highlights the trending items, making browsing for items easier, and streamlines the purchase process. It's subtle psychology and convenient with less incentives for players to have to look elsewhere. This will especially be effective for casual players who just want to buy or sell without worrying about scams. And while this update doesn't change the fundamentals of the market, it's a reminder that Valve is actively investing in keeping their players inside their ecosystem. And speaking of why Valve wants the casual players using the Steam market and most other markets gone, is the major market cut that Valve themselves get every time a sale is made. This has always been a sore spot for the community, but Valve's 15% cut on every sale is absolutely insane. To put this into perspective, imagine a skin sells for $100, the buyer pays $100, the seller doesn't receive that full amount. Instead, they get around $85. Valve then pockets the difference, multiply this by millions of dollars worth of skins sold every week, and it becomes clear just how massive Valve's income stream is. According to some third-party trackers, CS skins generated over $1 billion in trades annually during the peak years. Even if a fraction of that goes through the Steam market directly, Valve is making tens of millions of dollars per year from just transaction fees alone. And with CS2 bringing in new hype and a refreshed player base, they have every reason to keep the money flowing and choking out any market they feel gets in the way. A terrifying part for many skin traders and players right now is the rumored market crash. I'm not gonna say that this will happen or could happen, but this leak case I talked about in a previous video called the Volatile Case is said to allow you to buy skins directly from cases after contacting the arms dealer. So the idea that this could be skins already in existence, like your fire serpents per se, or let's say your case hardened AKs, you could possibly just buy the skin you want, and that could completely change everything about how the market could work with skins. Just imagine the fact that you could buy an AK-47 case hardened pattern 661. That could literally break the entire market and crash everything instantly. And I still think that it would crash everything even if these skins were untradeable. Now, I am leaning towards the fact that Valve will introduce this case, of course, but I think that it'll be more like new skins introduced that will be untradeable, but the fear's still there of how this will work, and this is causing many players to just panic sell in fear. They're scared of this market crash or just the possibility that this volatile case could break everything. So what does this all mean for the future of the skin economy? The unique thing about Counter-Strike has always been its player-driven market. Unlike games where cosmetics are locked behind the direct purchases, Counter-Strike created an entire culture around trading, collecting, and showing off your rare skins. A $500 knife isn't just an in-game item, it's literally a tradable currency. But by tightening control, Valve risks dampening that culture, slowing trades. A smaller, less liquid economy means fewer people willing to invest, and without the investment and speculation, the buzz around skins might just be a thing in the past. From a neutral perspective, the changes are a double-edged sword. On one hand, Valve has legitimate reasons to tighten up the control. Scams have been plagued in the community for years, and newer players as well as old players deserve a safe environment to trade. Sadly, when it comes to the market, Valve's business model depends on keeping trades inside Steam. They need to make money. They want to make money. On the other hand, the market has always been a delicate balance between freedom and control, but by leaning too heavily on control, Valve risks the entire economy built behind their game. I have faith in the economy, though I don't feel like it would just die instantly. They know that their skins are worth money. They know that their skins have value, and they have value to the players that are using them. Valve has a team of economists working behind the scenes to make sure the economy runs smoothly, and if any introduction to an update that could possibly kill this economy, I feel that this would not go through. So let's say the volatile case does happen, or the market crash has started. Does all of this mean that CS2 is doomed? Well, not really. The core game is still incredibly strong, minus the anti-cheat, but Counter-Strike has one of the most dedicated communities in esports history. The competitive scene, the ranked play, and the gameplay itself aren't going anywhere, but the skin market is a part of Counter-Strike's identity. Without it, the game loses a lot of its culture and even the mainstream attention. So making this video, we're really not sure what's going to happen for the future of Counter-Strike skins, the market, or really anything. Whether this will strengthen the market or slowly drain the life out of it, it's really hard to say. I'm not really sure. Hopefully they don't pull the Rocket League strat on us and make all of our skins untradeable. But if the market ends up collapsing, it's almost impossible to bring it back. We as the CS2 community and Valve need to tread very carefully or risk losing one of the most unique, valuable, and engaging features in gaming history. That's going to wrap it up with today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think we're due for a market crash? Do you think Valve is going to take back the whole skin market? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget about the giveaway. Those details are in the pinned comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This has been Zach. I'll catch you guys in the next one.